Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello. Last day we discussed about few infrastructures required for housing development. Today we will discuss social infrastructure part or the community facilities which is also required for the housing development. So, our objective or the focus in today's discussion will be social infrastructure and facilities. So, before that let us have a quick recap. We discussed about the roads, sewerage sanitation, drainage, waste management and power supply briefly, just to have an overview. For the roads we discussed that there are 4 categories of road: arterial road, subarterial road, collector road and the local roads. These roads makes a skeleton and the structure of a city or a residential development. Then we discussed the drainage. In the drainage planning, basic important part is the outfall of the drainage and the drainage network is done along the road. Similarly, for the electricity, the basic electricity network is done along the road. It could be below the road or could be over the road, and apart from the network, there are the substations. For that, substantial land need to be earmarked. I will show the example that how it works in a city, and also the sewerage and sanitation. We need to treat our human excreta and the waste. For that, there could be natural process. We took an example, that East Kolkata wetlands and the waste recycling region. There could be mechanized or the scientific process using sewerage treatment plant, and also there could be individualized, personalized approach like septic tanks and the soak pits. Apart from that, after that we discussed the solid waste management or the waste management. In the waste management, there are few more concepts like say the collections are done at 3 levels: the primary level at the household level, the secondary level at the your locality or the neighborhood level, and tertiary level at the bigger scale in this city level. After that we go for disposal and the treatment. The main objective of this waste management is to segregate the waste at the source and complete the whole process of the waste management, including the disposal and the recycle of the waste, so that we can recover the investment in the waste management. And after that we concluded that all the infrastructures are required and it takes substantial amount of space and investment both. For example, for any township or residential development, the space required for the transportation, water supply, drainage, sewerage sanitation and waste management takes almost 10 to 15% of the overall area. So, it is very important how we can meticulously plan a township or a residential development incorporating all the physical infrastructure. But apart from the physical infrastructure, there are facilities, community facilities, which is required as an essential part of the housing development. So, these community facilities are sometimes called as a social infrastructure, sometimes we can call it community facilities, but those also need substantial land space and the substantial investment to make it livable, to make it more better quality for the housing development. So, we discussed the objective of the infrastructure is to creating basic infrastructure, providing facilities and amenities and delivering accountable service. These are the basic terms we mentioned. We are not going into much details today. We mentioned that infrastructures and services are planned at various levels, starting from the city level to the local level, and these are the norms we mentioned: URDPFI guidelines, NBC National Building Code, Electrical Code, CPHEO manual, which basically manual for the public health manual dealing with the sewerage sanitation and the waste management. And apart from that, there could be local rules and regulation framed by the municipal authorities and development authorities time to time. So, after that let us see some of the norms of the social infrastructure. So, when we say the social infrastructure, there are educational infrastructures starting from the very elementary school to the technical college or the university and the college system, and the health system starting from the neighborhood clinics to the district hospital or the sub district hospital level, and also there are community facilities. So, we are going to show you that some of the norms for the social infrastructure which is given at the URDPFI guidelines, Government of India. So, basically these norms are provided at various level. I told you that pre-primary nursery school is provided for the population of only 2500, whereas a primary school is provided for 5000 population, and a secondary school is provided for a 7500, which is little beyond than your locality, and it is little beyond your neighborhood. And you can see the area requirement for the pre-primary to the secondary school is very different. It is from small to bigger, and there are other requirements like playfield, the amount of playfield required for every level of school. So, this is the provision for the school as per the population standard is concerned, as per the area is concerned, and as per the physical, the requirement of the playfield and other requirements are concerned. Similarly, for the schools or the educational facility at the higher level, like integrated school without the hostel facility, integrated school with hostel facility, school for physically challenged, school for mentally challenged. So, the student strength, the population served, and the areas are given. So, if you see the areas, there will be three categories of areas. One is the school building area, which is given, playfield area, and the parking area. So, this is indicative area requirement. So, based on your actual area availability at the site, probably you can work out your exact design and planning of the physical of the social infrastructure, and these are the other controls required for this the school or college development. Now, see the requirement for the college. You can see the population served for each college is 1.25 lakh. That means the college is affordable, or one college cannot be affordable for a locality or the neighborhood area or the cluster area. It can be given at the city level. City means more than 1 lakh. Similarly, university campus is for bigger facility. So, for the college you not only need the college building area or playfield area or parking area, you also need the residential area including hostel building area. Similarly, for the university campus you need lot of areas, residential area, sports facility, parks, landscaping area, parking, etc. You can see the technical education, which is required at the higher level for 10 lakh population, which can be a polytechnic or can be a centrally funded technical education. So, these are the requirement for the technical education. Now, based on your area, if area is small to medium to large, you can provide the social infrastructure as per the requirement. Similarly, the engineering college, medical college, professional college, nursing, paramedical institute, veterinary institute, all the institutes have their own respective provisions and the population standards which you can follow during the during your planning. So, you can understand that for providing this kind of facility at various levels from city level to the local level, you need substantial area reserved or located along your residential area or across your residential area, so that you can achieve the better quality of the living and better benefit to the people. Now, we come to the healthcare. You can see the healthcare service is given from the lowest healthcare facility like a dispensary, which is given for minimum for 15,000 population, but definitely in a housing area or in a locality, small clinics or small doctors chamber could be there in isolated building or in standalone building. It is permitted as per the law, and it can be part of like mixed land use, so that it can, apart from the dispensary and the nursing home, it can serve the local people in a better way. And then the nursing home or the child care center, maternity center, which is 45,000 to 1 lakh, you can see the area requirement. So, dispensary, nursing home, polyclinic, intermediate hospital, different category, multi-speciality hospital which is required at the city level, that is 1 lakh population. You can see that for all this kind of facility you need hospital area as well as you need the residential accommodation, so that the people over there they can stay there, I mean they can provide the facility to inpatient facility to the people. So, specialty hospital it can come 1 lakh or more, general hospital 2.5 lakh, usually the general hospital comes for a city mid-size city 2 to 5 lakh population. Family welfare center can come 50,000 population, diagnostic center apart from all this facility separate diagnostic center could be there, private or the public authority can develop such center. Then veterinary hospital for pets and animal and rehabilitation center, these are different kinds of health facility required for different housing development or township development. Now let us go for the cultural part. Apart from the educational and the health facility, we need specific cultural element in the overall planning and development, like Anganwadi or housing area, community room, community hall, Barat Ghar or library kind of facility, music, dance and drama center, meditation comes spiritual center, recreational club, old age home. Over the period of time, old age home, though we write at the as a part of social and cultural facility, but old age home has become a very important housing typology. In the later part of our this lecture series, we will discuss this old age home in a greater details, but please take a note that earlier we used to treat this as a cultural facility, but now we treat this as a very important housing typology, because over the period of time this typology is going to be increased and there are more requirement of the old age home. Then the religious facility at various level also can be there, and this is the population served, this is the area. So these areas are indicated, but based on this and the actual area available in your area, you can basically meticulously plan your land basically. So apart from the community centers and the cultural facility, there could be facilities like say children's center, the center for physically and mentally handicapped, working women's or men's hostel, adult education center, night shelter, then exhibition cum fairground, science center, international convention. Now please take a look at this the working women's hostel and the night shelter. Though it is shown as a part of facilities, it is also like in old age home we told that it is a very important housing typology, because nowadays the amount of the working women and men's hostel are going to be increased in near future, because more and more number of people are coming from one city to another city, one city to the village area, they are going there either by single or with a small family. So for those kind of purpose the working women's and men's hostel is very important part in a housing development. Similarly for night shelter, the people who are staying there in the roads, who are pavement dwellers, they need night shelter for their, they cannot afford a full house or they cannot afford an hostel even. So night shelters are given as a social facilities, as a social benefit to the people by the government. So apart from this, we provide the open recreational green areas in every level, like in housing cluster 3 to 4 local parks and playground. This local parks and playground, you can see the size of the local parks and it will serve the 5,000 population at the cluster level. At the neighborhood level, it will serve the 15,000 population and the area will be 1 hectare. At the community level, sometimes we call it as a sector or block, the name can be different, but the concept should be clear. At the community level, the community level park should be serving about 1 lakh, it can be little less than that also based on the your planning of the city, and it will be having 5 hectare of area. Similarly, we have district or zone of or the sub-city level or sub-city level parks, which is much bigger than the lower level. You can see 25 hectare and 100 hectares. So in a city or in a housing area, the overall area required for the green areas is ranging from 10 to 15%. So, it is not very less amount of area. So, out of 100% of the total area, 50 to 60% areas goes to net plot of the residential use, net plot for the housing, another 10 to 15% goes to the traffic and transportation, another 10 to 15% goes to open recreational area, and left areas are meant for the other community facilities including health, education and community facilities including commercial areas. Now, let us see that how the facilities come at the different level. So, this is the neighborhood level, cluster level, block, community or sector level, whatever we do, I mean we say, and this is the unit level of the room. So, at the room this is the lowest level of unit lowest level of facility. Unit means the housing unit, block is the combination of the several units, a cluster is consisting of several blocks, and one neighborhood is consisting of several cluster. So, we can see that most of the facilities are given at the neighborhood level or the cluster level, but few facilities are there like say garbage disposal which is coming at the block level or even sometimes unit level. Intercom facility, heating and cooling facility, Wi-Fi facility, swimming pool, parking, all are part and parcel of the individual room or the block level facility. Similarly, after the neighborhood level, we can go to the sector level or block level or the community level or the city level, where the bigger size or the bigger level of facilities will come. So, we see this picture again. We last lecture also we took this example, the typical layout of a neighborhood cluster. So, here we can see that 4 neighborhoods are there, the plot layout plan 1, 2, 3, 4, and the blue colors you can see these are the educational facility, these are the higher secondary school, and these are the primary school within the neighborhood, and the small blue areas these are the elementary school. Similarly, the red colors shows the commercial facility at the sector level or at the neighborhood level, the convenience shops will be there, and similarly the green and the blue shows the open areas at different level. These are the centralized open area at the sector level, whereas this green areas are servicing the neighborhood and the cluster. For example, this green areas is servicing this cluster, so that people from this side and that side can come and enjoy, whereas this green areas and the water body can be enjoyed for all the people living in this neighborhood. So, this is an example by which you can understand that how the social facilities are placed and how the local roads are connected with the residential area. Now, last discussion we discussed the development control. You can see that here we have used two set of colors for residential area, one dark yellow and one lighter yellow. So, these two colors shows the different height, prescribed height of the building. By and large, the concept is that if this is a neighborhood, then your peripheral building could be high rise and your internal building could be little low rise, and this could be road. And the internal space could be used as a green area. So, this is done to ensure the adequate light ventilation and visual continuity, so that so please connect with our discussion related to the building controls and the urban design. So, based on that, two different types of building typologies or the building envelopes are considered and placed at the periphery and the center of any neighborhood. It could be different also, it is just an example to understand you people that how it works. Not only that, in the internal layout of the neighborhood, you can see that local roads are there. Local roads can be connected with other local road, and also local road can be open ended, like that, close ended, which we call it cul-de-sac, which will serve only the internal plots only. So how these local roads, the community facilities, the space for the community facilities, green areas acts together, that is very important thing to see. Another very important part to be observed, that major arterial road and the arterial road and the subarterial roads are also connected with the local road and the collector road, but this will not open up in the main carriageway, this will open up only in the service road. Please recall our discussion in the last to last lecture when we displayed the typical section of a road, arterial road, subarterial road and the local road. So this connection of the local road and the arterial road not directly there, so this is not an intersection, this is only meeting with the service road. So that is how we physically we try to figure out any housing area meticulously, plot by plot, parcel by parcel, so that after this exercise we can take a parcel of land, and this parcel of land we can give it to the developer and tell them, okay, develop the housing project of this much of unit, and this is the density prescribed, this is the FAR prescribed. So without this exercise, without the land subdivision, without the allocation of the physical social infrastructure and the network, we cannot go to the next level of the process, housing development. So from the land use plan or the planning of a city to the housing development at the project, these are the necessary steps. Similarly, this is another example you can see here also. These are the areas for the schools or the health facilities, this is the commercial facilities, and these are the green space, where green spaces are considered to be a continuous space as an example, and these are the network of the local roads. So to plan for the social amenities and facilities, basic challenges are that how to maintain the basic norms and standards. The space standards given by the URDFI guidelines is indicative, but if you want to follow all the space standards, sometimes you might end up in space crunch. You will find that so much space or the land space is not available in your overall area, or maybe that you don't need so much of area. So how to make a balance without creating any disbalance of distribution of the various kinds of social facility, how you can achieve a balance and you can provide all categories of social facilities. That is the basic challenge, to how much you can maintain the norms, the limit, the prescribed norm of the facility. Second part is equitable distribution. The examples I showed that how the facilities are distributed in such a way so that wherever you are located, wherever your plots or house is located, you can come and you can avail that facilities, even if it is the green areas or any community facilities. So physical distribution of the facilities. Then optimizing land and resource. Land is a very important and very crucial resource. We cannot waste land, and just to minimize the waste of land and to maximize the utilization of the land, we are taking so many lectures to discuss that how we make the policy, how we make the reforms, how we make the planning in the city and the region. Then after the planning, we make the development control, we make the land subdivision, we make the plot layout plan, and finally we take each and every plot to develop a housing or to develop any other thing. So the objective is to optimize the land so that we don't misuse the land. So one element in this optimization is the amount of land given for a particular plot for any facilities, and second is its location. Like the examples I was showing, that the school location, the school plots can be given adjacent to the playground, so that the school building or the school authority can utilize that playground simultaneously, and the playground or the community as a whole also take the advantage of the school. Those kind of integrative strategy could be taken in the physical planning as well to optimize the land. Then the balance between the present and demand and the supply. So present, you might find that in the planning of the overall city, your demand could be very high, but your supply of the land and the investment could be low. So how you can balance, how you can maximize your benefit for the people, that is very important. So your priority between the various services is important, but definitely the basic infrastructures like say water supply, electricity, access road, health and education is not compromisable. Without that, no housing development can be done. Then flexibility for the future expansion and modification. The flexibility is very challenging term, because the plan or design we make for the people basically may change due to the taste of the people or the change of the population pattern in the future. We have seen in various core city of the area, various metropolitan city, that because of the change of the population dynamics, the population of people are migrated to different cities, different changes are transformations are going there in happening. So because of this transformation of the population dynamics, there could be some kind of flexibility of the infrastructure and the facilities. Think about the cities like Kolkata and the Delhi, where the it was done so many long years ago, and the infrastructure was designed only for few lakhs of people, but still now those infrastructures are taking load of at least 5 to 6 times of population. So that is the essence of the flexibility and the expansion possibility of the infrastructure and the facilities. And the context for the community and the end user. The infrastructure and the facilities we design should be contextual. The road section or the standards I drew and I showed you in the last lectures is a standard section, but you will find that in Indian roads, Indian common spaces and the terminals, you will find lot of informal elements, informal shops, informal vending elements, vending shops. So how we can accommodate, integrate those in the common place, because we cannot eliminate 100%. We need this up to some extent. Recently Government of India through their Street Vending Act, they have given the authority for the street vending, but in a specific demarcated zone. So that is the challenge for the planner, that in a housing area at various level, neighborhood level, sector level, city level, how we can place all those kind of informal facilities which you require. One example I will show that how we can place those facility so that you do not misuse the land, at the same time you use the land for the better benefit of the society. So that is very important, that your planning should be contextual for the community and the end user. We cannot make a road and township which is looking good, but which is not servicing our countryman, which may be servicing the any other country. So based on the requirement of the our countryman and the people, we have to design. Now just now we talked about the informality, that the informal shops and the vendors. You will see that most of the vendors and the informality comes in the nodes, in the intersection in our cities, and the intersections are very much vulnerable. The basic reason for the vulnerability is that most of the activities, loading, unloading, transfer from one vehicle to another vehicle goes on in the node area, in the intersection, because intersection is the area where the large buses come, the metro rails ends there, terminates there, and those intersections are not given priority, not given much attention in terms of the informality. So in this project we also considered that how we can bring that element in the planning and keep some area for the community facilities. Like this is a typical plan of a junction. You can see that the typical junction is consisting of a major road and a minor road usually, but we kept additional road both side of the 4 quadrant of the road junction, and these junctions are acting as a space for, you can say, see the convenience transport terminal to accommodate the paratransits or the public conveniences, to have some areas where some public functions, some informal street gatherings or informal activities could be there. This kind of areas could be act as a transport terminal, and here there could be food kiosk, there could be small shops and the kiosk element. So this kind of element could be accommodated. Not only that, the pedestrian pathways can be integrated with the bus stoppage and the transport terminal and the community facilities given there. And another part, you can see that the service road is connected in such a way so that it is not hampering the journey or the movement of the major arterial road, as well as it is giving the connection or the access to the paratransit and the culture and the food kiosk in the other quadrant. So this is the way how we can accommodate the informal facilities and the amenities in the common areas like nodes and the junction without wasting much area and without affecting the physical space, because if we do not provide this space, ultimately eventually this kind of facilities will come here, 20 numbers of auto rickshaws will stand there. So we cannot bear that, we no longer can allow that. So to prevent those kind of situation, chaos and the congestion, we have provided the areas in the 4 quadrant of the road. This is the current situation of that particular junction. You can see that some shops has already come here, and this is the area for the bus lanes. The bus will come and stop there, the loading unloading can go there, so that the main carriageway becomes free. The service road will go from different side like this and will connect to other part. This is the areas kept for the kiosk and the food and the paratransits. So this can be very important planning exercise. You should take a very important learning note from these cases. So having said that, the next lecture will discuss the housing strategy, how we will combine all these element in a strategic document for a city, the infrastructure, the development control, the land use, its prescription, everything. So before I finish the lecture, let me quickly summarize what we discussed. Today we discussed the social infrastructure or the amenities. We discussed that social, the educational facility, health facility, community facilities at the difference level, like say our building level, to the block level, to the cluster level, to the neighborhood level and the city level. And the basic challenge of this designing and planning of the facilities is that the equitable distribution of the facility over the space. The second is to maintain the standards prescribed by the codes or the norms like URDPFI, because land is very scarce. So how we can give the priority over the facilities, and which are the and after giving the priority we can keep a balance, we can maintain a balance for all the facilities, so that nobody is deprived of any facility. The facility should be equitably distributed over the area, so that everybody, irrespective of caste and gender and the economic strata, they get the equal benefit. And also the optimum utilization of the land, because land is a very scarcely commodity and the pricely commodity. So optimum utilization of the land is very important for the designing of these community facilities. After that, we ended the discussion with the essence of the informal facilities and amenities required at the housing development or at the city level for the people in our country like India. So we can accommodate this kind of informal requirement of the people in terms of paratransit facility, in terms of the street vendings or the informal facilities in the junctions, in the nodes or in the common areas meticulously, so that with very minimal areas of provision we can achieve maximum benefit, so that in future those areas don't get congested and don't get unsustainable and don't look ugly. So that is the objective of the overall discussion of the infrastructure and facility. So next day we will discuss the housing strategy at the city level. This discussion will talk about that after the planning exercise, the every element we talked, that the development controls and the infrastructure element, how we can combine these to come out as a comprehensive strategy document for housing in a city. So thank you for today.